Hello, I am GeekyLink from GeekyLink.com. This is an overview of my new Flash actor hacking generator. The generator version at the current time is 0.3 beta, and the XML data version is 0.2.4. This will obviously change in the future, so pay attention to what it says on the actual website. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is pick which game we want to modify. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using Ocarina of Time. However, feel free to use Majora's Mask if you want to. The generator is fully capable of using either one. After we have our game selected, we need to pick a location. Now, you can pick anyone from the list. And there's this new S button, though. I'm going to be using Lon Lon Ranch in this because I feel like being a little more original in my last video. Let's type in Ranch, and now it'll show us all the results for Ranch. And we're going to use Lon Lon Ranch. Up here under current area, you can see that we now have Lon Lon Ranch selected. And in the info box, which is very important, keep an eye on this at all times, it says update. Lon Lon Ranch is now the selected area. So now we can go to actors to pick which kind of actor we want to modify. Again, there's a list. And this list is a little longer. And if you know which one you want to use, you can push the S button and search for what you want. I'm going to be modifying a pot, so I type in pot and hit modify, or search, my bad. And now there is a list of all the pots, and this extra one down here, which is a spot. Again, you know, pot's kind of in the spot, so that's why that pops up. I'm going to be using the first pot by the entrance. Now then, again, there's another list of actors here. If you want to know what you want to use, just hit the S button and search for it. Now, I'm going to be using GeekyLink, the enemy. Hit the Modify button up here, and we see that our first pot by entrance is now GeekyLink enemy. However, below that, there is a notice. GeekyLink enemy requires group 0020. Groups are what the game uses to determine which actors can be used in an area, kind of, sort of. I'm not really going to bother explaining that in full in this video. But the important thing is you need a group loaded for the actors to work. So let's go over to our groups page and let's select a group to modify. We've been modifying a pot, so let's just get rid of the pot group. Any group you edit, will not be able to load any of the items that are associated with that group, as I have said before. So let's change this to 020, like we need. Hit modify. And group pots now has the value of 0020. Hit create code, and here's our game chart code. Okay, so now let's go test our new code out. As we can see, here is GeekyLink ready for us to fight, but we're not going to really bother with fighting him because we're more interested in the generator right now. Okay, now we will use a little more interesting aspects of the generator. Well, slightly anyway. So back to actors. Let's go down and find our pot. It says up here, as you can, I can't really show you, currently GeekyLink enemy. So select that, and let's hit reset because we no longer want GeekyLink. Let's use instead an Iron Knuckle. As you can see, there's an ADV next to it. That stands for Advanced Actor, even though it's not really advanced, it's just an actor still. The only reason I call it advanced is because you can add specific details to it. Now then, you can see there's also a search button next to the details. However, in this case, there's only 3, so we don't really need to search. We can turn it into a white, a sitting, or a gold. Let's use a white. After you've filled in all the details, hit the Modify button next to Actor Details, and it will tell you that the details have been added to your Iron Knuckle. Now, hit the Modify button, like for GeekyLink. This time we see our pot is now an Iron Knuckle. Also notice the Iron Knuckle requires group 0106. So back over to our groups. Let's edit pots again because we no longer have GeekyLink loaded. 0106 and hit modify. Group pots now has the value of 0106. Now I'm also going to show you how to use treasure chests. Let's change Talon into a treasure chest. Nobody likes him. Go search and treasure. Treasure chest ADV. Now this time there are 3 boxes we have to search through. Chest type, and there's all these different types that we can search through. Not use, not search, I'm sorry. Let's use invisible, large chest, kill enemies. That means you have to kill the enemies for it to appear. Now then, chest contents. There are a lot of them. So, in this case, let's use the big Goron sword. We could have searched for a specific one we wanted if we felt like it, but I didn't really feel like it. Now, chest number. This one is quite important if you're doing any more serious modding. Any option that is already used for that kind of contents will appear open. The chest will appear open. In other words, if I have a big Goron sword treasure chest with an option value of 1, then any other treasure chest that has a big Goron sword in it and has the option of 1 will already appear opened, even if I haven't opened that specific one. To counter this, all we have to do is pick a different option. There's a total of 16, so you're not too limited. Let's use 13 in this case. Hit modify, and modify again. This time, notice this treasure chest requires group 000E. Back over here. Talon is no longer loaded, so let's edit that and put that in. Create our code, and let's try this out. Okay, I'm going to be lame and I have my infinite Deku sticks on. Let's just kill this guy. See how it works. I'm sorry there's no audio for you. My audio driver seems to be being a pain in the butt right now. So, you just have to listen to me talk. Sorry about that. This will be over soon though. Yay! Okay, now over here we will see our treasure chest spawn. And let's go claim our treasure. As we can see, it will be a big Goron sword with a cutscene. Quite amazing. Ta-da! Now then, back to my actor hacking generator. Let's check out the miscellaneous tab. Here we can see numerous checks that we can use before actually loading the information that we have specified. First one, which is defaultly checked, is, well, no check at all. The second is verify area before loading data, which is now improved. This is much better than the original version that I used, which was hardly effective. This will help prevent mesh glitches and other errors that can happen. For example, if you were to do a lot of editing in Lon Lon Ranch and then you went to Kokiri Forest, you would notice that there were some mesh glitch ups. Now then, you don't really need to worry about that if you're doing just some small stuff, but if you're making any more serious mods or anything, like multi-room or whatever, then it's pretty necessary to have this on. This will make your code twice as long because it has to check everything, but it is well worth it if you actually are going to make something fairly big. Our other two options are button activations, which we can choose from a list. It's fairly self-explanatory. This will make it so you have to hold down this button while entering the area for the information to load. Our final check is a custom one. You can enter in anything you want, so you could make it based off how much health you have, based off how many Deku nuts you're carrying, or anything that you want. It's completely customizable. The one you probably will want to use the most often, though, is verify area before loading data, or no check at all. It's completely up to you. The effects of using this will appear exactly the same, so I don't think you need a video showing you that. And I believe that basically covers everything for my generator. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I hope you have fun hacking.